and then stay tuned to our X page, still feel free to say, our Twitter page, Wrestling with E, for information on who we're going to be interviewing, when we're interviewing, that links to those interviews and so much more. And you could find out who we're interviewing on Instagram as well, at Wrestling with E. Alright, now that we're done putting ourselves over, it was once again not a great week for wrestling as we lost another wrestling alumni of a different breed this time. Bob Barker died. Um, and when you think about that era of WWE when he guest hosted, not my favorite era, but when Bob Barker
Knocked out
hosted that
Chavo.
Raw, it was arguably the greatest Raw of that era. No,
To see Chris Jericho wearing the Price is Right name tag right on his chest.
yes,
Oh man! Of course, when he knocked out Chavo.
with a chop.
Uh, well, I will never forget to spay or neuter my pets. That's for sure.
For sure. Obviously, the Price is Right legend. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the friends and family. Alright, and now we are wrestling with the news. And we're going to be talking all in a little bit. But a piece of news that came out of that show before it even began was Jack Perry getting into an altercation with CM Punk
Uh,
after his match with Hook. He was coming back from Gorilla. CM Punk was in Gorilla. CM Punk told them to, if he had something to say it to his face. And Jack Perry shoved him, apparently. Whoever you want to believe in this scenario.
uh,
Jack Perry said, um, if do something about it, do something about it, which then Punk proceeded to put him in a chokehold.
um, I had heard that it that it had a lot to do with Harry insisting he used real glass uh, in his match, uh, and supposedly, Punk was vocal about it. Um,
Right.
uh,
This was a couple weeks ago on Collision. Jungle Boy was no Jack Perry was doing some pre-tapes for Wednesday. Wanted to use a real glass bottle. Punk and a couple other people told them that's maybe not the wisest decision. Um, and Jack was apparently not happy that that story got out.
um, the general consensus, apparently, from uh, what we know, is that they're both being held at fault here. Neither one is necessarily being punished more than the other. I mean, we know Perry was actually kicked out of Wembley Stadium. Um,
Punk left on his own accord.
Punk went on his own accord. Of course, everyone was like, "Not again." I mean, at this point, Tony Khan's going to have to create a show for every night of the week just so Punk can have a paycheck.
I mean, we'll talk about the repercussions because obviously both people got suspended, and you said nobody's getting punished more than the other. I feel like Punk is getting punished a little bit more because obviously, later today, it's actually no, tomorrow. Tomorrow is All Out and it's in Chicago and he's not on that card unless something drastic happens later today on Collision.
Mm, which makes me wonder if we're being played.
This was a
I
what?
mean, that think about this for a second. You just had the biggest show in the history of your company, and for some strange reason, you booked another pay-per-view the next weekend, which I think is BS and asking for too much money from the fans. If
And
it's
there
on a
was
streaming service,
never a package deal to get both.
yeah, that's what I thought. But if you bought All In, you should get All Out for free. But
Right.
that's I'll talk about that more later. But the news, think about this: the news spreads that Punk is suspended, and it's almost like they're saying, "Well, guess you guess we're gonna have All Out in Punk's hometown without Punk." I would put money on Punk, and I'm using air quotes here, hijacking the show
Walk or shoot?
in a work.
Okay.
Um,
I don't think AEW is smart enough to do something like that, but okay.
uh, no, but Punk is.
Yeah, you might not be wrong about that.
I mean that's almost the trademark Punk move at this point. Um, but I mean, and speaking of Jack Perry, I think that there's somebody else we have to talk about, and that's Rob Van Dam. Uh, if you have bought tickets for WrestleMania, which of course is happening in Philly, ECW country, there was one of the events, whatever you want to call it, was titled an ECW experience with Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam is apparently of the belief that even though he had permission to work uh, AEW, that it might derail his WrestleMania plans.
I
I don't know if that's RVD smoking the wrong strain, um, but it seems like Jack Perry is apparently a trouble magnet, which is um, here I have the quote here. RVD suspects his WrestleMania 40 spot is in jeopardy due to collaboration with AEW, in spite of having permission to do so. The 52-year-old Hall of Famer demonstrated that he still possesses considerable skill. I don't know what match they were watching.
maybe they were watching it back with Rob, and the essence was influencing them.
They all got contact time, man.
Yes.
Um, I I mean, the only person I could really see taking any issue with this is Vince. But Vince, I don't think is going to be saying anything on record for quite some time. So honestly, I don't think it's going to affect RVD's, his access event because
Yeah,
let's face it, it's paid for already, um, and you're gonna have a lot. You get a lot more pissed off fans uh, that will start demanding money if it's changed to anything. Remember that. Think about the people that bought it specifically to have that experience with Rob Van Dam.
right.
Um, so, yeah, I just thought that was a worthy piece of news while we had Jack Perry on the brain.
And I mean, I don't think anything that uh, if they cared about what he did in AEW, they wouldn't have let him do it in the first place.
Um, Wait a minute. Okay, Tony Khan uh, will have there will be an update on Punk before All Out. Um, uh, there are also rumors that the footage of the whole incident exists. There's
Yes.
footage of it. I didn't even know that. That it was released on purpose to speed up uh, any internal investigation AEW is doing. Um, as of right now, Punk and Perry uh, still suspended. Um, Presumably, I believe, yeah, I believe, yeah, Rampage was live
I didn't.
or is live. Uh,
That Vampire
uh,
was recorded. Um.
um, because something on Rampage. Well, I can't say this without breaking kayfabe here. Because this a match on Rampage is going to determine what I'm presuming to be the main event for All Out. So I
So
mean,
you're talking about Alex Silver and Alex Reynolds and Silver winning the tag team tournament, right?
the battle royal. I can't imagine any other match being the main event. Um,
Oh well, we'll talk about what's going to be the main event when we get to it because it's a very interesting card to say the least.
Come on,
Uh,
Hobbs and Miro. Come on, Hobbs and Miro.
but do you feel like you know is it at this point okay? It's CM Punk. He's got into another squamous or he got into another argument or got into another fight and or is this more a Jack Perry problem? Because I mean Jack has to know at this point about Punk and he still did that. You know what I mean? It seemed like he was looking for the issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, but again, this really. I mean, the whole incident with Punk and the Elite was a lot more buzz. A lot more buzzworthy, and there was no footage of it.
Because they're vice presidents of the company. They have, stake in the actual company. Jack Perry's just a lemming on the roster.
Mm. I this just seems too coincidental.
How do you how do you feel that not that, how Tony Khan dealt with this, suspending both guys? It seems a little severe.
Uh, I think if this was legit, um, Tony was backed into a corner, if he wasn't, if there weren't so many witnesses, I'm not sure Punk would get suspended.
So you're saying that he suspended them to make the locker room happy?
Yes, and from one report, it's saying that the fact that Punk and Perry received equal punishment actually was a morale booster.
Now, when I think about things like this, my first thought goes to the Jericho Goldberg incident um, a while back ago, where there was an altercation between them in the backstage area that people said Jericho won. Needle Man got suspended. As far as I know, Needle Man got fined. Is this just Tony Khan being um, paranoid about getting a lawsuit involved? Or does he really believe that, this is the right decision?
I don't think there would be any grounds for a lawsuit unless either of them were fired. Um, I mean, they could be, they could be essentially suspended for anything if you think about it. Um, this
Chewing
is,
gum, using real glass,
yeah, not wearing a suit backstage,
not wearing underwear underneath your suit.
not wearing clothes. Uh, Asking people if they want to see your trouser snake, the usual stuff. Um,
I think this just shows what kind of leader Tony Khan is. That he's made instead of just sweeping it under the rug as something that happened, an isolated incident between the boys, and making it into something that it doesn't necessarily have to be. Now I understand, the first time with the elite, it was, somewhat of a big deal because, they wasn't wrestlers; they were vice presidents. So you have to take things as they come. But Jack Perry is just a wrestler, and CM Punk's a wrestler. So it was just a fight between essentially co-workers at this point. I don't think it should have been as blown out of proportion as it did, as it was.
I mean, I could see Tony backstage going, "Hey guys, it's me, Tony Khan. Look at me. I suspended them both. That makes me a good boss, right? Right?"
Oh, definitely. With those big beady eyes that don't seem to blink.
Now, I'm going to pick 9 of you, no, I'm sorry, 11 of you to play an exhibition game against the Jaguars.
And the wrestlers would win. The Jaguars suck.
Well, I didn't say in what sport.
Oh, twist. Or swerve, bro. There's a swerve.
Yes, they'll be playing extreme chess.
What makes it extreme? Jeff Hardy's playing it.
Um, uh, after every move, you have to cut off a finger.
Wow. That's intense.
It's extreme.
John Moxley would do that in a fucking heartbeat.
Well, I mean, put it this way. I mean, AEW is single-handedly responsible for new strains of hepatitis that reach past the American alphabet and go right into the Greek alphabet with all the blood they spill.
Without a doubt. And speaking of blood spilled, um, Sasha Monet is going to be working a match for AEW.
When she gets out of that boot.
And when she gets killed to wrestle as well.
Um, it looks like she's gonna be the female member of the Acclaimed. If her her appearance on camera during All In is any indication.
I don't think that's an indication. I think it was just when she got to the venue. If they could have shot the women's title match a little later, I feel like her face would have been plastered on there.
But they showed her uh, they showed her that she was there before the earlier in the, almost near the start of the event, and then the next time we see her, it's after the Acclaim match, and she's oh no, I'm sorry, is it during matches bars or is it after? I think it's during matches bars,
It was before and
and
after, I believe.
yeah, and she was rocking out it. I know the rumors of the Acclaimed getting a female member are very high. Um,
Can you have
so,
a woman that scissors in the Acclaim?
uh, women invented scissoring.
I'm not a complete idiot, but I mean, is it somewhat inappropriate?
Oh, scissor me, Sasha.
Oh,
Oh, scissor me, Sasha. Or or scissor me, Casca.
I don't know. Does Sasha really fit in the
Mercedes
Acclaim?
Mercedes Monet DeLorean.
Well, let me rephrase the question. If Mercedes Monet has a match in AEW, does anybody care?
No, and I think that's a lot of. I think it's a lot to do. I think you could say a lot about that statement alone as it pertains to All In.
I mean, the only match I could say that I'd be interested in seeing is her versus Nightingale again, just for the simple fact that she injured her in their match.
uh,
So getting a little comeuppance, getting a little revenge, that makes sense to me. Do I want to see Sasha versus Paige? No. Do I want to see Britt Baker versus Sasha? No. Would I be okay with seeing Tony versus Sasha? Yes.
yes,
But
Tony Khan versus Sasha.
yes. I think that's what we're getting right now as we're waiting for an actual match. But if they do something with her, it will be interesting to see what exactly they do with her. I'm pretty sure this is all but confirmed, but the writers of Ouchie are returning to WWE. The authors of Pain.
Right? Ouchie. You gotta work on that material, James. I haven't I haven't seen anything. What happened to their Peruvian promotion? I think it was Peru. Um,
Caribbean. It was
It was in another country. Oh, it's Middle East, I
yeah.
think. Yeah.
It got canceled and they never got it back up and running.
Um. Uh. By the way, I do have a note on what the supposed All Out main event was apparently supposed to be.
Pumpkin Starks.
Pumpkin Starks. Yep.
Yeah.
Pumpkin Starks. Get yours today at Dunkin' Donuts. It's Pumpkin Stark season.
Back to Jaime and Ishmael.
I mean,
Do you think that
first of all, yeah.
do you think that, this is a good get by WWE that they're actually going to do something, or is it, are they back in the woods, essentially?
Uh, hmm. God. Uh, I don't know, but they if I mean apparently they've been under contract for more than a year.
What?
Um,
Really?
they've apparently been under contract since 2022. They were re-signed between Vince retiring and unretiring. They were brought back right before Vince was put back in charge. Uh, this also includes Paul Ellering.
Wow, I didn't hear that.
Um, but according to the PW Mania, but apparently the potential is putting them back on NXT.
Oh, so basically the island of irrelevancy.
Um, yeah. Um, that might not be the worst decision since NXT seems to have a more concrete tag team division um, than the main roster at this point. Um,
I don't know. But I mean, the last time we saw them on WWE TV,
was
they
the
were
last
part,
yeah,
they were
was the
part
last
of Seth
pandemic.
Rollins' Monday Night Messiah gimmick, no?
Yes, the last time we actually saw them on WWE TV, March 9th, 2020, the last Raw before the pandemic. Live Raw, I should say, with an audience. Uh, it was them, Rollins, Buddy Matthews, Buddy Murphy, my buddy,
Don't call me Buddy
against,
Pal.
I'm not your pal, friend, against the Viking Prophets, or the Street Raiders.
One of them.
Um, uh, um,
From what you're saying, it sounds like they're already being misused.
mm, mm, yeah, it seems, it, it seems like that. Uh, it's okay. So their promotion was supposed to have a show on July 9th in England. Um,
I believe we reviewed that, if I'm not mistaken.
the card never happened.
We previewed it, I mean.
Um, mm, uh, I mean, the main event was supposed to be Moose versus Alistair Overeem.
Who said
Um,
moves?
uh, Nia Jax versus To Be Decided.
It was Lana.
Um,
And I
the Legion of Pain against BT Gunn and Tez Evans, whoever that is. Uh, uh, Portia Parrott and Anastasia against the She-Wolves, whoever they are. Uh, oh my. Damo Mackey, aka Killian Dane. What a stupid fucking name.
believe it's
Against
pronounced Damo.
Demo. You said Demo. Against Dean Mutati, aka Mojo Rawley. Eric Young versus Zach Zodiac, Raya's brother.
Yeah.
Levi Valenzuela Jr., No Way Jose. Funny enough, I know somebody who now knows No Way Jose personally. I'm not sure how to feel on that. More to come in the future. Against UK superstar Jody Fleisch. Of course, it never happened. Refunds were issued, and I believe a couple of people were even stuck in the stocks. You know, they had to like stand there with their arms and their neck in the thing of I don't fucking know. Uh, if they come back, great. If they don't, I don't think anybody will be too disappointed.
I agree. And more on Jack Perry and CM Punk. Um, if you hear anywhere down the line that Jack Perry was killed during a drive-by shooting, you know who did it.
Yep, Suge Knight.
I was gonna say Cash Wheeler, but okay. Um, on to some good stuff. Impact Wrestling. This upcoming Thursday is celebrating their 1,000th episode. Um, you know, Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it, has been the brunt of more than a few jokes. But to say that you reached 1,000 episodes is, no easy feat. So really, congratulations to them to getting to that point. No, Scooter?
I gotta do the math on that for a second. Hold on. Well, I can tell you, I'm certainly gonna keep up my 1,000 episode streak of not watching it.
Oh, come on. Impact's
Yeah,
not that bad.
no, it's not. It's a little more than 19 years worth of impact if we're going by one show a week.
And I believe that we are.
Um, you know, good for them. But they're their shell of what they used to be and what they could have been.
I mean, but
Uh,
I feel like they're secure in who they are right now, and that is essentially the Ring of Honor spot. Where, you know, if they give talent to WWE, it's not going to affect their relationship with AEW. If they give people to AEW, it's not going to affect WWE. They're essentially the little buddy of pro wrestling. It's not going to affect anything that they do or anything business of any other promotion.
and
So they just kind of capitalize on it and enjoy it. You know what I mean?
yeah, uh, and honestly, I might say that they're leaning more towards WWE being the little buddy of WWE. given that Nick Aldis is in line to become a producer.
I heard that as well. But
Uh, he's shadowing somebody, but we'll finally get Nick Aldis in a Royal Rumble.
maybe. On that card, Awesome Kong is coming out of retirement after 3 years of retirement. For a match, so that should be fun. And the Dudley Boys, Team 3D, Devon Dudley and Bubba Ray Dudley will be teaming up for the first time in 7 years for that event. Like I said, it takes place September 9th. I'm gonna watch it. I recommend you watch it as well. Now, something I would recommend watching, or continue watching, or maybe you should be watching.
Oh,
Um,
oh, wait, oh, wait a minute, hold on. That House of Impact is going to be in White Plains. That's a only a half-hour drive past the bridge for me. Hmm.
don't pretend like you're actually gonna go,
No, I plan to go to Grand Slam, so uh,
because I know it's a real struggle to get those pants on, Scooter.
I mean, hey, when you wear size -6 pants,
Is your legs like in, introverted
uh,
into your chest or something?
no, I just have a really big dick.
Will you stop it? Real quick, friend of the show, Jack Carlos with his tag team partner Daisy Kill won the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. Also friends of the show, Agent Kazama and Anthony um, Anthony Andrews at the 25th at the 75th anniversary of NWA. So, oh my god, that was so fucking fun to say that. Congratulations to Jack, obviously a friend of the show. Also on that show, EC3 won the NWA Championship from Tyrus, and now Tyrus has to retire for the stipulation of the match. Is this a hallelujah moment, Scooter?
well, all I know is somebody better call his mama. Ah,
He held the NWA Championship for 289 days. If you ask me, that's 289 days too long.
he's the second longest reigning Republican in history.
What?
You know, I heard he was gonna be uh, VP if a certain uh, pumpkin-headed idiot ran for president again. VP, Vice President Tyrus.
Well, I don't think he's going to WWE at this point. It was rumored in innuendo that he only lost the championship because of some comments he made on a political show. Um, but I feel like NWA at this point might actually be in a good position because he was the main reason I wasn't watching NWA at this point. Because I just don't like the guy. Political political agendas aside, he's not an intriguing person, and there has been allegations against him um, otherwise. So is this actually a really great thing if Tyrus doesn't come back to NWA and maybe they could actually pick up some fans now that he is actually gone, if he actually is gone.
Please let him go to AEW, God. Maybe they can finally learn what not to do. I mean, I honestly, they'll probably, the fan base will probably slightly increase, but no one's saying, "Oh man, I gotta get home so I can watch the NWA."
Because EC3 puts asses in seats.
Well, that's what makes him him and you.
Alright, I think that concludes the news.
And oh wait,
Yeah.
one more piece. AEW has finally picked up the most valuable free agent in all of independent wrestling. Of course, I'm talking about the bounty hunter, Brian Keith.
Yay.
That's exactly the response, with the question mark at the end and everything. All right.
That concludes the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.